And speaking of murder, let's talk about what Marvin Vettori did to Kevin Holland. Well,
Murder him.
no, it wasn't. He murdered him on the scorecards. That's for damn sure with a
Oh, yeah.
with a 50-44.
50,
Oh
44.
man, but this is exactly what we're all expecting to happen. Kevin Holland, just he has wrestling, but not against a black belt in jiu-jitsu and a high-level striker in Marvin Vettori. Vettori lands a middleweight record 11 takedowns in this fight. And now, Kevin Holland has lost, in only a span of about 3 weeks, he's lost 10 straight rounds and taken down 17 times in those 10 rounds.
Do you think he for sure lost every single round of that Brunson fight? You don't think he won that round that he got the knockdown in?
All right, 9 out of 10 rounds he
I
lost.
was going to say, I think he won that round.
I think that you're right. I think they gave it to him.
Because, I mean, he had him almost finished.
Yeah.
I think Vettori in the lead up just said it so perfectly, and I can't remember if it was after the fight or I can't remember when it was that he was saying it. It might have been during UFC Destined, but he was just like, yeah, Kevin Holland has this tendency to like kind of leap in a little bit, and just like smother himself and kind of take away his own space where he's supposed to be this more effective fighter at it. And yeah, you got to stay away from those if you know you have a weakness and you just keep that's how I know it was after the fight, because that's what Marvin was saying. He's like, if you're going to give it to me, if you're going to keep jumping into me and you're already in my clinch, I have these skills, I have a black, I have in my corner, I have a Hall of Fame Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, teacher.
Yeah.
So I better be able to use those skills to my advantage, and that's exactly what he did. He took him down, ragdolled his ass, even worse than Brunson did, which is awesome. I mean, Vettori proved, I think, that he is for sure in the top, possibly 3 to 5 guys in this division now. It's going to be a tough competition for who gets that next Izzy fight between Whitaker and him. It might end up being Whitaker versus Vettori for an eliminator.
It might be. Well, let's talk real quick before we get into that. Let's talk next for Kevin Holland. But I just want to point out one thing, Blake. Going back into something we covered earlier in the show with Mike Perry and Daniel Rodriguez talking about Darren Till. Mike Perry did end up putting out a tweet saying, "Y'all thought Darren Till was being genuine, so I guess there's some legitimate beef between those two, even though I cannot tell. I hope that story just continues to progress, because Twitter is a fun place for UFC. MMA Twitter, Blake, is something that's absolutely insane. But what can we do for Kevin Holland next? What I propose, first off, the question, because remember this pairing was supposed to be a thing, or at least was thought it was going to be a thing, was Khamzat Chimaev and Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland called him out. I think we could absolutely say that Kevin Holland would get smashed by Khamzat Chimaev. But also, why not just pull Khamzat Chimaev and can we ship Kevin Holland just to Dagestan for like 2 months, 3 months, and just have him there wrestle some bears?
Did you see Kevin's tweet today?
No, what did he say?
He put like a face swap of him and like must have been like Habib or someone.
We did
that.
like a beard like that.
That beard, and he's like, and he said just BRB.
Hey, he jokes about that. That'd be the smart thing to do, for being honest.
He needs to, man. He needs to go somewhere where he's gonna get just freaking reps.
Well, the thing is,
repetition.
If he can get his wrestling down, he is easily a title contender in that division.
Or Dagestan. He needs to go to one or the other. AKA Dagestan. That's your two choices. Right. And I'd say Dagestan's probably the better option because, DC's a busy ass man.
Right.
He's got podcasts, he's got commentary, he's got, shows that he has to produce.
Fingers crossed he gets into WWE.
Too much stuff going on, So I would think Dagestan might if he can get his way into Dagestan with Habib and all those crazies over there, that would be huge for him.
He was yelling.
What if Habib coached him? That would be sick.
If Habib
coaches Kevin Holland,
that
would be crazy.
We're talking about the matchup between Mike Perry and Darren Till. No, let me get Kevin Holland, Habib Nurmagomedov matchup. Oh,
that would be fun.
That's iconic. That's legendary. Because for a guy that can't speak English, he does a great job, but like Habib has this almost sort of charisma to him that's really hard to explain. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy.
He's like him and Daniel Cormier are some of the funniest duos, I swear. I love watching that stuff. But now, more importantly, What is next for Marvin Vettori? Oh, that almost rhymes. Oh, damn, I almost did that. Blake, you still hate me for that. It's okay. So, we have a few options we can go with right now because Vettori, it's hard because if he did this to a Darren Till, if he dominated Darren Till 50-44, yeah, Vettori title shot all the way. I'm cool with that. But the problem is now, yeah, he dominated, but it was against Kevin Holland. No disrespect to Kevin Holland, but is a lesser opponent than Darren Till. So, I don't think he gets a title shot, even though I would be okay with that. Like, if they end up going, the rematch, to rematch against the really controversial split decision that honestly could have gone to Marvin Vettori way back when. There's a couple fights into Israel Adesanya's UFC tenure. We can do a title shot. We're not complaining. A couple guys I would like to throw in there, though, is Paulo Costa or Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him fight either one of those guys if they're available. Cannonier, obviously, he's been injured for a while.
October when he fought Whitaker, that was a broken ulna. So with an injury like that, we could expect to see him back soon. I think they're waiting to get a fight. I think that's one thing they're
kind of
for.
lining up Costa and Cannonier is why we're not hearing anything. But we'll see. And I mean, Brunson's been calling out Costa left and right. So I mean, if he can't get one of the two of Costa or Cannonier, I'd say just go after Brunson next, wipe his ass off, get him out of the conversation. Just stay active because
Brunson is number 4.
He's got to get Izzy's attention somehow. It's really tough.
Yeah. Izzy's kind of being a DB with this whole I don't want to do rematch things. It's I kind of lost my liking for Israel, if I'm being honest. He's kind of been annoying the last little bit.
I just want to see him fight middleweights again. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got to really say about it.
And one of the curious things, too, is you could also say, maybe he fights, like you said, Blake, the winner of Whitaker versus Gastelum. And why I think should happen is that if Gastelum beats Robert Whitaker, then you do Vettori versus Gastelum for a title eliminator fight.
That wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that would happen. They're teammates.
Yeah.
They're teammates. I don't know. It would be very. That would.
Matchup wise.
The championship. Unless it's for the championship, I think that's the only way they would fight. I do not think that they would let that happen.
That'd be a tough one, though. But if Whitaker beats Gastelum, like I think he should, Whitaker should get a rematch. I really want to see this rematch with Whitaker and Izzy. That's a fight. That's a championship fight.
I'm doing all the dirty work for Adesanya. I mean, he's taking out everyone for him. He's taking out Cannonier. He's taking out Till. He's going to take out Gastelum again.
What else does he need to do to get a title shot again? Like honestly,
the only guy he's lost to recently is Adesanya.
Yeah, and he lost him after having a super long layoff off an injury.
I could go with seeing that fight, and if he gets beat again, oh well. Okay, now we know Izzy's the best for real. But still, I think Whitaker didn't have his best night that night.
No. I think we can easily argue that.
And I'm still not even sure if I think Whitaker can even beat him. But I'm just saying, I know for sure Whitaker could look better than he looked that night. Yeah,
Whitaker now looks better than he did. I would argue that today's Robert Whitaker looks way better than what he looked like as champion. This is the most dangerous Robert Whitaker we've seen, Blake. And with him, full fight camp, with fights over the year, and going into a title shot, it's a whole different fight. It's with Izzy coming off of a bad loss, too, to Jan Blachowicz. Or sorry, if to quote Chael's son, Jan was a... Blachowicz is what he calls it. Blachowicz. Chael's son, you never disappoint, but that's what I want to see.